In the golden haze of Monte #Cito, where #Arnicured estates and wisp-airing palms masked the chaos beneath, Meghan Markle stood on the precipice of ruin. The life she and Prince Harry had crafted, a defiant blend of Hollywood ambition and royal defiance, was crumbling under the weight of a single, treacherous betrayal. A secret audio recording its content as explosive as a storm breaking over Buckingham Palace, had erupted across the globe, threatening to shatter the fragile empire they had built. The world was watching, and Meghan, for the first time in years, felt the icy grip of fear. It had begun innocently enough, or so she thought. A private dinner on a sleek yacht off the coast of New York, the kin #D of clandestine meeting that fueled her dreams of reclaiming power. The host was a billionaire known only as Mr. X, a shadowy figure whose wealth rivaled nations, and whose influence stretched from Silicon Valley to #he corridors of global media. Meghan, ever the strategist, saw him as a lifeline. Their Netflix deal was teetering, Archewell was bleeding funds, and the public's love affair with the Sussexes had soured into skepticism. Mr. X, with his bottomless resources, could see everything. Over candlelight and crystal, she spoke with calculated precision, her voice steady as she outlined a plan to force the royal family's hand. "We'll use the media to mark who Charles and William bend," she said, her words sharp as a blade. "They've ignored us for too long. A few well-placed interviews, a book, a documentary, will make them beg for peace." Mr. X nodded, his eyes gleaming with intrigue, promising millions to fund her vision. But unbeknownst to Meghan, a disgruntled crew member, resentful of UN-paid wages and long hours, had hidden a recorder beneath the mahogany table. Every #D, every ambition, every secret was captured, waiting to ignite a firestorm. The morning the recording leaked, the world seemed to stop. An anonymous X account, its followers numbering in the millions, posted the clip with a captain eye that cut like glass. The Duchess's plot to topple the monarchy, exposed. Meghan's voice, unmistakable and resolute, echoed across screen #NS from London to Los Angeles. "We'll show the world we're the victims. Charles and William can't ignore us forever." The internet exploded. Hashtags like #Meghan exposed and #Royal betrayal TR ended worldwide, each post a dagger in the Sussexes' carefully curated image. Pier #S Morgan, never one to miss a chance to strike, declared on his show, "This is Meghan's endgame, a desperate bid to destroy the monarchy." Even the usually restrained BBC ran headlines questioning her motives. In Montecito, Meghan sat frozen, her phone buzzing #if notifications as the scandal spread like wildfire. Harry, his face pale with fury, paced their sunlit living room, his voice trembling as he demanded answers. Who was on at yacht? How did this happen? Meghan, usually quick with a retort, could only stare at the floor, her mind replaying the dinner, the faces, the fleeting glances. She had been so careful, or so she believed. But someone had betrayed her, and the cost was catastrophic. Across the ocean, Buckingham Palace was a cauldron of rage and sorrow. King Charles, his health frail and his heart heavy, sat in his study, the weight of his son's estrangement pressing harder than ever. He had clung to a flicker of hope #Harry might one day return, but Meghan's words, cold, calculated, and now public, felt like a final severance. In a rare statement, the #Lace expressed His Majesty's deep sadness, and promised to address the matter privately. But in closed doors, the mood was far less restrained. Prince William, his temper barely contained, saw the recording as a declaration of war. To him, it was not just an attack on the monarchy, but a personal slight against Catherine, whose strength had won the public's heart. He summoned aides to Kensington Palace, his voice sharp as he demanded action. "This cannot stand," he said, his yes blazing. "They've gone too far." Whispers of stripping Harry and Meghan's titles swirled, a move that would exile them from the royal fold forever. Catherine, ever the voice of hashtag reason, urged restraint, her hand resting gently on William's arm. Harry is still your brother, she said softly. We can't let this tear us apart. But even she could not ignore the public's fury, their voices echoing across X with venomous clarity. Meghan was a schemer, Harry her unwitting pawn. In Montecito, the Sussexes' world was unraveling. Their publicist, a battle-hardened Hollywood veteran, pleaded for a statement to stem the tide. Call it a deep fake, she or hashtag Jed. The public will believe hashtag it. But Meghan knew the truth was undeniable, the recording too authentic to dismiss. Silence, she decided, was her only defense, a gamble that the storm would pass. Hashtag DNT. Netflix, already frustrated by hashtag Y delays in legacy reclaimed, issued a chilling ultimatum: deliver a hit, or the partnership was over. The leaked recording made that impossible. Insiders whispered that executives were horrified by the backlash, one telling Variety hashtag Y, Meghan's brand is radioactive now. We see a hashtag NT touch T his. Desperate, Meghan reached out to Mr. X, hoping he could quash the story. But the billionaire had Vonnie's hashtag H hashtag ed, his yacht now docked in Dubai, his phone unanswered. Dark rumors surfer said that he had hashtag orchestrated the leak, either to sabotage Meghan, or to curry favor with London's elite. Whatever the truth, she was alone, her allies fading into the shadows. Harry, meanwhile, was drowning in guilt. The recording had reopened wounds he thought long hashtag healed, his decision to leave the royal family now a source of torment. He spent hours with his therapist, his voice breaking as he confessed, I just wanted to protect hashtag CT my family, but we've become the villains. His pain was palpable, etched in the lines of his face as he sat in their garden, star ring at the horizon. Meghan, ever defiant, refused to break. She poured her energy into damages control, hiring a new PR firm to salvage her image. But the world was merciless. Ex-posts mocked her as a modern-day Lady Macbeth, while Harry was reduced to a mimmy of defeat. Even their supporters, once vocal, fell silent, unsure how to defend the indefensible. In a last-ditch effort, Meghan agreed to an interview with Oprah Winfrey, hoping to reclaim the narrative. Hashtag the live CBS special was billed as a chance to set the record straight, but it became a disaster. Hashtag pra, her questions sharp and unrelenting, pressed Meghan on the recording. I believe in transparency, Meghan said, her voice wavering, but some things are taken out of context. The vague response only fueled the fire, and Harry's admission of regret, I'm sorry for the pain we've caused, was seen as a betrayal of their united front. The audience, both in the studio and online, turned against them, their words dissected a hashtag ND derided. As the weeks passed, the scandal refused to fade. Archuel's staff began to flee, citing a toxic environment, while the couple's social media presence went dark. In low hashtag NDON, King Charles penned hashtag ed a letter to Hawaii, his words heavy with love and resolve. You are my son, he wrote, but the monarchy must endure. The message stopped short of stripping their titles, but the warning was clear, the Sussexes were on their own. Meghan, standing on their balcony as the California sun dipped below the hills, felt the weight of her choices. Harry joined her, his eyes weary. What now? He asked, his voice barely a whisper. She turned to him, her gaze fierce. We fight, she said. We tell our story, our way. But beneath her resolve, doubt lingered. The world had heard her voice, her plan, her ambit hashtag ion. And as the stars emerged, one truth remained. The shadow of the crown was inescapable hashtag bull, and their